Are you ready?
What's up, guys? Orbital Bacon here, back with another live stream. Thank you for everyone who's already joined in. Malik, William, Azolis. What's up, everybody? So in this one, I'm just doing a little bit of editing right now, and it's a little different from what I normally do, because normally I'm working on like stop motions and adding effects into those. But right now, let me turn the music back up a little bit here. There we go. Right now I'm trying to create an establishing shot. You know, like at the start of a scene, normally it'll show like the outside of a building, or if it's like a sci-fi, it'll show the planet where it's taking place. So especially with Transformers, you know, want to show Cybertron. And, you know, you could go on Google and just find a picture of Cybertron. There's like plenty of screenshots from the cartoon. There's artist renderings and stuff like that. But there's only so many out there. And if everybody kind of uses their own, or doesn't use their own rather, and goes on Google Image and picks one of the however many are out there, there's a limited number. Eventually, you know, you're going to start seeing the same pictures of Cybertron or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of, not that like every single person out there does Transformer stop motions, but you know what I mean. And not only that, but it's good for just, you know, creating your own landscapes in general, or cosmic landscapes in this case. So what I'm going to do is start out pretty much from scratch. Like, I have a space background here. This is the one thing that I did go, well, I shouldn't say the one thing. I grabbed a few things off of Google, but they're various things. It's not just, oh, here's the picture of Cybertron. That's what I used for my thumbnail. If anybody saw, that's what the thumbnail is. It's just, which is this right here, just a stock image of Cybertron. And that, you know, kind of gives me inspiration for what I want it to look like and things like that. Let me close this down. But what I also did was I went through, and you can kind of see here, it might be a little small on screen, but you can kind of see that I went through and got little pieces. There's various resources like SketchUp, and I believe it's called 3D World, where people submit their, just like how people submit their art that they've drawn, whether by, you know, on a computer or on paper, whatever. Same thing, it's just 3D models. People submit their 3D models, and you can use those. And in SketchUp, you can even make your own, but it's kind of tough. It's a little more time than I've got. So this is, as you can see, these are just various bits and pieces that I found from 3D World and SketchUp and places like that, that you know, people had made. and I'm going to use them to make the surface of Cybertron. And you can kind of see here I've got the moon as just kind of the base. But like I said, this is so if everyone wants to try making their own version of Cybertron or any planet, you don't even have to make Cybertron. You could make whatever original planet if you just want to make some cool stuff. And even though this is kind of mostly Photoshop type stuff, the reason I'm doing it in my video editor is because since it is going to be the establishing shot for a stop motion project, I want to be able to zoom in, maybe change the camera angle, stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and build it in a 3D video space, so that way if I want, like I said, if I want to zoom in, zoom out, change the angle, reuse the establishing shot in a future project, or even depending on how long this one is, if they go back to Cybertron, I may want a different looking one. So with all of that out of the way, I'll go ahead and get started, and let me catch up on the chat here, because I know I'm probably behind. Alexander Rose, what's up? Hey, Rams fan. Thundercat, what's up? Darkness, what's going on, man? Malik got some sleep, alright. Hey, Crossover, what's going on? You'd rather, Azola says, I'd rather admire Cybertron than try to make it. Yeah, I mean, that's the easier thing to do, I'll admit. I mean, that's the easier thing to do, is just to, you know, grab a picture and do like a slow zoom in on it or something like that. But I don't know, sometimes I just can't bring myself to do it. I gotta make my own. I gotta be original. Well, I say that as we're like making stories based on other people's characters, but with as original as I can be within that realm. So, like I said, I'm starting out with the moon just as kind of a base. Not only does it give me a good sphere for the planet, it also has some lighting, like references, like here's a dark side, light side, of course. So it kind of gives me a few references on perhaps how I'll shade in the different parts and pieces as I put them on. Now, I've already been messing with a few pieces here, but I'm probably going to just not necessarily start completely over, but go through and show you guys so you can see the process I'm doing, because HitFilm 4 Express, the software that I'm using, it is free, so if you want to download it and try some of this out yourself, it's very easy to do so. I don't believe they have mobile versions. I think you do have to have a Mac or a PC, but other than that, it's completely free. It has a lot of nifty features. Yeah, I'm bringing Nifty back. Alright, so let's see what I've got here. So when I was looking at the moon, it's a little bright because I still might have some pieces of it show through, just to have kind of that rocky surface under the metal parts of Cybertron. But we're going to see what it looks like here. If I darken it up just a bit. That's too much. I might have to come back and fine-tune that. I'm not happy with that. Alright, so what I had done was I found these pieces here. Where was it? Here it is. So I had found these pieces here. And they're gigantic, first of all. Hey Bob, what's up? Are you ready? That's right. It's crazy, Bob. You missed the storm going on here. Of course, I didn't start the stream until after it was done, but man, it was storming. Alright, so this is kind of a giant, just robot, or not even necessarily robot, it's just computer metallic looking panel, kind of generic looking. And of course this is going to be from a distance, so when I shrink it down, it just kind of looks like maybe the surface of Cybertron with like buildings, roadways. You know, you got to use your imagination a little bit. So, excuse me. So this is kind of what I'm using for the most part to cover Cybertron. I'm going to use different sizes of it, and there's other like I was showing before, there's other, building parts and stuff that can be used too, but this is going to be the primary thing that I can use for the surface. Bob says he has returned. Solus says, what is my favorite Transformers character? Soundwave is my all-time favorite Transformers character. Of all time. Crossover, you can't wait for Legacy and Combiner Wars. Combiner Wars should be out this weekend. Well, I say should. It like is going to be out this weekend. We are determined. And it's practically done. So it'll be out this weekend. And then Legacy, you're going to have to wait a little bit on Legacy because our Dragon Ball stop motion is the next one that we're working on. Like, we've both already begun work on it. Swagwave has been filming it. I've been doing the effects. So that's next. And then after that is Legacy. So, Bob, since you came in a little bit late, you're asking, is this the moon base or is it Cybertron? It's going to be Cybertron. This is just... Now, I can show you... I was going bit by bit. I did get a little bit of a head start here. Let me see if I can find them. I've added a glow, all sorts of cool stuff. I'm basically going to end up covering this in bits that make it look like Cybertron, so you can kind of see that. I'm skipping ahead a little bit. This is like spoiler alert right here. I'm going to cover it in all sorts of pieces to make it look like Cybertron, but right now I'm just kind of, since it's a live stream, just kind of showing people how I got to that point. The moon is Cybertron. Yeah, it will become Cybertron. Solus says Soundwave is awesome. Yours is Drift. Drift is a cool character. Comics SM Production asks, are you able to download Hit Film Express on a tablet? Not that I'm aware of, Comics. I don't believe they have a mobile version. As far as I know, you have to download it on either a PC or a Mac, like an actual computer. Crossover asks, what's my favorite Transformers continuity? Probably the, if you count the aligned continuity from Transformers Prime, the one where they tried to bring in the War for Cybertron game, Fall of Cybertron, and Transformers Prime, the show, I don't know if, like, that's even considered the, quote, aligned continuity anymore, but it was called that at one point. So, if that's still considered the aligned continuity, then that's my favorite. Otherwise, I don't. If they are calling something else that now, I don't know what to call it. But that's my favorite. Excuse me. Hey, you guys, what's up, Battleframe? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Yeah, Legacy's come a long way, Bob, simply because of how long it's been going on. The aligned continuity. Bucky Barnes, what's up, buddy? Ooh, they had a throne model for Arachnid. That'd be cool. That'd be fun to use. Darkness, what's up? Crossover, you call the aligned continuity Transformers Ultimate? That's a good description for it. I can see that. That works. Comics production, do I collect any action figures? Oh yeah. I collect tons of figures. Of course, Transformers, plenty of Transformers, but I haven't been collecting as many these days. Like, I stopped back around the Combiner Wars. I remember getting, Devastator and Minosaur and Bruticus, and I got the third-party add-on kits for Minosaur and Devastator. But then I kind of stopped after Bruticus. Didn't really get anything after that except for the occasional figure. Like, I got the Insecticons that came out. I got Perceptor. It's just like random figures here or there. I think I got Soundwave, the Headmaster Soundwave, just because I get all the Soundwaves because he's my favorite. But right now what I'm collecting are Kamen Riders. You guys have probably seen I've done a couple of Kamen Rider videos recently on my channel. Swagwave and I have done a couple Kamen Rider stop motions, and I collect a ton of those figures. Other than that, it's just kind of random. Like every now and then I'll get like a Predator figure, or I'll get a Dragon Ball Z figure, or Dragon Ball Super, I guess it's now called. But as far as things that I collect on a regular basis, used to be Transformers, currently Kamen Rider. Marvel Legends, that's another one that's kind of comes and goes, you know, here and there. Whatever the expression. Yes, curse you, Starscream. Alright, so anyway, back to, I wanted to catch up with the chat, but I always get a little bit distracted. So, what I'm doing here is, like I said, covering the moon in robot parts, or like metal parts, to make it look like Cybertron. And when I take, there's like so many different things you can do. Like I was showing off at the beginning of the stream, there's all these various kind of like city looking pieces that I'm going to use later, but right now I want to get the surface covered in like metal parts. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this and use a mask tool, because if you guys are familiar with Cybertron, it has a lot of these like circular parts on it, circular shapes. So let's see, I'm going to increase the size of this and move the mask over. There we go. There we go. Now I can get a bigger chunk of it. Not quite. Grab the wrong thing. Excuse me. Grab the wrong thing. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Malik, I'll definitely do some weekend ones. I know people are going back to school. You know, people's work schedules change and stuff like that, so... Yeah, I miss a lot of the characters from Transformers Prime. Knockout and Breakdown were hilarious together. Soundwave was cool. I mean, once his voice was revealed and he had kind of the G1 sounding voice, I wish he talked a little bit more, but he was still awesome. And Transformers Prime Megatron is probably my favorite version of Megatron, like, of all time. Like, he looks awesome. His, you know, his methods, his everything. It was awesome. Zolas, you love Knockout? Yeah, Knockout was one of my all-time favorite characters from that show. Watch the paint job. Like, it's weird because I remember liking Trax when I used to watch G1 a lot, and I remember liking Trax because he was also kind of that, you know, like, oh, watch the paint job. This is, you know, I'm a what's it called, a classic. So he kind of cracked me up, but Knockout was kind of the spiritual successor to Trax, to G1 Trax. Watch the paint job. So yeah, he was kind of an instant favorite for me. And he had that great voice. I can't remember the name of the voice actor. I think his first name was Darren. Can't remember the last name. But his voice actor did a great job. Alright, the reason I just put a second mask in there is I'm going to go in here and change the blend mode to subtract. And it's going to create that kind of ring. Now you could actually use this for a whole bunch of different things, because now that this mask has been created, I could come back to the layer here, to the actual layer itself, turn it into a 3D plane, because like I said, that's why I'm working with I mean, I guess you could work on a 3D plane in Photoshop as well, but again, it's just kind of, I'm used to doing this in the video editor, but that's why I'm doing this on a 3D plane, because I could come in here and then rotate the X and Y axis, And if I wanted to, I could make this, if it were bigger, you know, it could be like the rings of a planet or something like that. You know, if you, like I said, if you don't have to be making Cybertron, you could make whatever you want. But that could be used to make rings if this weren't tech-looking stuff. You could make it look like rings. Alright, so let's see. Now I can take the position of it and sort of place it on the planet. Now, that still doesn't look quite right. It's a little phony looking, you know what I mean? So there's this cool thing that HitFilm can do under the warp folder called spherical warp, because obviously we're working with a sphere here. So you just slap that onto the effects. Now at first it's going to be all weird because of the presets. I go in here, I turn off these reflections. I don't want any. That's what added all the weird extra circles around there. Once you turn those reflections off, you're just working with your initial thing, and you can already see it's thinned out. It's given it a perspective, I guess would be the proper term. And I can kind of rotate this and now match up the perspective with the side of the moon there. And that's why I'm using the moon. And, you know, Bob was asking, oh, is this the moon base? Is this Cybertron? Yeah, that's why I'm using the moon, is it kind of gives me a good perspective, so now I can see the way that the curvature, whatever you want to call it, the perspective, I can kind of match it up here, because you can also come in here and kind of tweak that, turn that up a little bit. Now that looks about right. Make sure I always save this. I'll go ahead and catch up on the chat real quick. Literally building Cybertron. Very cool. Just decided you want to make something original. All hail Megatron. What's up, buddy? So yeah, I mean, it is going to be used for a project. It's not. This isn't like a pointless, like, oh, I'm just going to do some random stuff. It is going to be used for future projects. Obviously, we've got a lot of Transformers stuff coming up. Not just Combiner Wars, which is basically wrapped up, but you know, Legacy is coming up after our Dragon Ball stop motion, and then after Legacy, we're going into an entire I don't know what you would want to call it. It's very similar to the comic books, the IDW run where it was kind of more than meets the eye, and Robots in Disguise where they had those parallel ongoing storylines where Robots in Disguise focused more on Bumblebee and Starscream back on Cybertron, kind of arguing over who would take over, and then More Than Meets the Eye focused on the crew of the Lost Light. And they went on. They both took place in the same, you know, universe storyline, but they focus on separate teams. And so we're gonna do something similar to that, instead of it just being Combiner Wars or just being Titans Return or the Headmasters or whatever the toy lines have focused on, because that's what we were kind of doing with Combiner Wars. We're gonna go more in like the comic book-esque plot lines, where it's just a big expanded universe that has a bunch of characters. So that being said, I'm gonna have to be coming up with a lot of establishing shots for Cybertron and eventually other planets. So I'm starting with Cybertron, of course, and that's what, you know, most people are going to be familiar with anyway who are fans of Transformers. They know what Cybertron is, or at least what it looks like. They have a vaguely familiar idea of what it looks like, and some people are very, very familiar with what it looks like. So that's what I was saying at the beginning of the stream, was that if everyone used the same pictures that come up on Google Image for their establishing shots of Cybertron, you know, if they were making a stop motion, it's going to start to be repeated. It's like how everyone used the same royalty-free music from Kevin MacLeod. You know, you start to recognize it. So this is how, you know, I just wanted to show how I'm building my own Cybertron from scratch, and then, you know, it can be used for your own planet building or cosmic landscape building. Battleframe says basically the fisheye effect turns the images more circular. Yeah, it's that spherical Warp is basically like a fish island battle frame with just different ways of tweaking it. Alright, I'm getting way behind. Sorry, guys. Alright, back to work. So let's see, I was working with another one earlier that I had made some sort of circular pattern. There it is. Yeah, I basically want to, I want a bunch of different overlapping circles. I'm going to cut up some of these other, you know, by rotating them, changing their scale, cutting them into different shapes. It can look like all sorts of different metallic plates for Cybertron. And you know, you layer them, you literally build it, and then at the end I'm gonna put these little buildings and little details on top and put a glow underneath everything so that it kind of shines through the holes of everything, kind of like the art and the pictures. And then we'll have our very own Cybertron. Our very own, one that we can call our own. This time we won't mess it up. I say that and then watch me like blow it up at the end. William says, do you like Steve Bloom as Starscream? Yeah, I thought he did a great job. It was weird because when I originally heard that Steve Bloom was going to be, you know, was cast as Starscream, I was a little bit nervous because most of his voice work up until that point that I was familiar with anyway was from anime. You know, like Samurai Champloo, Cowboy Bebop. I believe he voiced Vincent Valentine in Final Fantasy Advent Children. And it was all a very similar style of voice. You know, the low, cool guy. You know, so the only time I really ever heard him do something slightly different was the Tom from Toonami. But even that was still pretty similar. But then he comes out with this crazy Starscream voice, and while it still had the classic Steve Bloom raspiness, oh, I forget, he also did Wolverine, but that was also low and raspy. But Starscream did have the you know, the raspiness, but he gave it this weird kind of phony elegance, like how Starscream believes himself to be. You know, like Starscream thinks he's like super elegant. I just picture Starscream thinking himself being, you know, super elegant, and you know, he just thinks he's all that. But I don't know, he added something to it. And of course the moments of cowardice, you know, where he was whimpering, oh, Megatron, you know, and got all high pitched and everything, that was great. So I actually really enjoyed Steve Bloom as Starscream. I thought he was great. I say that a lot. Great. It's great. That would be great. Alright, there's certain things I can do to kind of offset the way these things look so they're not so similar. Actually, that should be darker. Darker and slightly see-through because I want the light kind of pouring through it. There we go. Tailgate. That's no moon, it's a planet. It's a planet full of robots. Lucky Barnes, it seems the Bumblebee movie is going to do their Hasbro universe. Oh yeah, I knew that was coming. Hey Eldest, what's going on? Oh, not much, just building a planet. Preparing Unicron's next meal. Yeah, Malik, I'm hyped for the War for Cybertron toy line. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, because see, I have this glow that I was working on earlier. Let me get to that real quick. What I'm thinking about doing is actually making just the entire... I was going to make portions of the surface glow, but I think I want the whole thing glowing from underneath, and then I'll just cover it in parts and just have the parts have various transparency, so that way whatever you can see through glows, if that makes sense. I know what I'm talking about. No. And I'm gonna probably, since I do already have this mask started here, kind of not covering the planet, I think what I'll do is make a second one that's a second color. I know a lot of artwork has both orange and blue sort of glowing up from the planet's surface, so I believe I will do something similar. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to take it quite to the edges here. It's another, you know, again, if anyone's wondering, why is the moon up there? I'm using it just as a guide, because I don't want, as I put all these parts and pieces, I kind of don't want to lose my place as far as the shape of the planet. And for things like this glow here, I don't want it to, I don't even want it to touch the edge. I want it to just kind of approach the edge, because otherwise it would glow sort of almost, well, kind of like the actual moon does, you know. It would have this haze around it, and it would take away from the illusion of all these metal plates. It would look like they weren't really there, like they were just in front of a glowing object. So this will allow me to make the glow sort of fuzzy enough without it going beyond the borders of the moon. Alright, so I'm happy with that right there. And then what I'm going to do is draw another mask right down here and make it blue, because this one is orange. So I'm going to do that real quick. Let's see, am I on the right layer? I am on the right layer. Gotta make sure I'm on the right layer. Again, I don't want to go quite to the edge. I'll have it. There we go. And this one... Oh, you know what? It's going to have to be its own separate layer, since I've got an effect that... The effects... Not to sound redundant, but the effects affect the entire layer, so I need to make this one a separate one and just hide that mask. If I do use that mask, it's going to have to subtract it. Something like that. Something like that. And then I want to change this to blue. Cybertron blue. Let's see how that looks. Excellent. Throw that down there. Excellent. Now I've got two separate glows, although this one, I don't know, for some reason that one's like too solid. That one's like see-through. I guess it's not going to matter in the end. Makes me want to come back up to this one and kind of turn up. Yeah. There we go. That's starting to look interesting. It's like something. Alright, let me catch up on the chat real quick. Let's see. Oh yes, the new Godzilla movie. Yeah, Malik, definitely. It looks awesome. Hey, what's up, IDW Shadow? What's going on, buddy? Exactly, Battle Frame. You got it. Battle Frame, or I'm sorry, Bob asks, what do we think of the 2014 Roadbuster? I have that one. It's not bad. I ended up getting the Mastermind's Creation Roadbuster, whatever. I can't remember what they called it, but it was basically Roadbuster. I ended up getting that one, and I much prefer that one. But the 2014 one wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. Okay. Gotta remember what Cybertron looks like here. I think I need another plate of metal. Yeah, I had a couple of these things flopped around. See how this looks. See how all this looks. Yeah, see? We're getting there. It's starting to look a little bit Cybertronish. Cybertronian. Alright. Oh, this is something I forgot to do here on before I get too ahead of myself. Let's see. Where are those rings? The rings that I just... There we go. Alright, so this is something... if you notice, there's light showing through the holes in there. So once I've got the rings all warped and spherical and in place, I put a chroma key on them. And of course, right away it's oh boy. There we go. Ooh, just want to remove that. There we go. So yeah, if you put the chroma key on there, tell it to just remove the very darkest of areas, and then just kind of mess with the tolerance a little bit, you can start to take out some of those shaded areas that let the glow that you've put on the planet underneath start to shine through, and it looks really cool. Very Cybertronian. Alright, let me hit the other one with that. Because, yep, that one right there. That's pretty cool right there. Alright. It's definitely starting to take shape. I still need to add, there's plenty more to add to it, but it's starting to look like stuff. it's starting to look like something. There's plenty more to add to it. And there was one thing I wanted to do. There was some art that I've seen. I don't know if it's, every depiction of Cybertron, but it was something that I saw commonly when I was looking up pictures of Cybertron, to get ideas for this. Something that I saw as a kind of a repeated depiction was that Cybertron on one side had like a blowout, like some big explosion had gone off, and there was all these little metal shrapnel bits just flying off. So I like how this kind of looks like that. I might mask this out a little bit to make it look more jagged and ripped up, but it looks like the beginning of that blowout. And then I got these little scrap metal fragments that I'm going to have out. Again, this is why I'm doing this in the video editor, because that way I can have them slowly animating, you know, rotating and floating out into space as the establishing shot zooms in. Looking more and more Cybertron, my dude. Looking more and more like home every day. It needs more glowing. I need more glowing. Yeah, Malik, I'm not done. I'm far from done. Trust me. This is like just the beginning. Because once I get all the layers on there, then I want to blend them all together. I'm going to slightly blur them, you know, feather them into each other. They're all going to blend together. It's going to look like one solid surface, as you know, as far as all the different pieces. It'll still look like metal plates and everything, but it'll be like one solid surface. The light will be shining through, and at the end I'm going to actually give it some volumetric lighting, so this glow is actually going to have rays of light poking through all these holes. And like I said, I'm going to add some scrap metal here. It's far from over. I just like to get caught up on the chat from time to time so I don't fall behind with what you guys are saying. All right, Eldis, thanks for checking it out, man. Yeah, the small spikes. Yeah, so I'll do that later. I don't want to get too far off from what I was making over here. I need some more. I need something else like in the center of this. As much as I like the overlap of these rings, I really like the look of that. I think there needs to be another plate right here in the center, because there's just way too much glow right there. And then of course under to fill in all these little gaps, I'll probably end up using some of these random plates. And then I need something up here, probably another circular something, because that was something I noticed on Cybertron, was that there were a ton of circular structures all over the place. Like these things right here, where'd they go? I'm going to go ahead and duplicate one just while I'm thinking about it, while I'm talking about all this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and bring this over here. Like this is something I want like in the middle, kind of poking up. I'm probably going to have to give it a spherical warp just because it's looking too flat. So it just needs a slight one, not too much. And you can kind of adjust the center so it... There we go. Alright. Move that up here. Needs to be rotated a little bit more. There we go. And let me shrink it down just a bit. Okay. So that looks more like a city that's popped up there, and I'll put another kind of circular plate around it. And then, like I said, I'm going to cut these things up so it won't look like such a copy of that. There's a whole bunch of other pieces and stuff that I can be using as well. Let's see, let me try out one of... The reason I like using this one is because it's pretty high res. This one's not bad here. But yeah, it's just fun just to kind of be creative with it and see what you can come up with. And that's why I had mentioned before that HitFilm is completely free, so definitely try this out. It would be awesome if we had some sort of like, not like a competition, like like a friendly competition. You know, I don't want people to actually get all, you know, worked up over it. But if we had like a friendly competition where everyone kind of tried to make their best Cybertron recreation of Cybertron, that would be pretty awesome. I mean, think about it. It didn't necessarily have to be Cybertron. Just looking at this, you could use, you know, this plate here, you know, get another one, rotate it out. You could build like the Borg cube out of this stuff, you know. Turn the brightness down to make it look kind of black, put some lights in there. There's all sorts of cool stuff you can do with these effects. It's a lot of fun just messing around. Yeah, Zolas, the Transformers Prime, they killed off, so they weren't afraid to kill off some characters, and yeah, we did. We lost some good ones. I don't know, Battleframe. I don't know why you're not getting notified. It may be because I tried scheduling them ahead of time, but if that's screwing up the notification, then I'll just start going right into them like I used to. Yeah, Bob, you could totally do something like that. You know, like I mentioned in the start of the stream, there's websites like 3D World and SketchUp where you can get 3D models of things, and you can always add, you know, your own textures and effects on top of them. We need Pepsi Prime to light our darkest hour. Pepsi Prime and Pepsi Man. Keonis has arrived. What's up, Keonis? Alright, so... this one I just need kind of a smaller circle. And I want it on a really techy looking bit. Yeah, like right there. That works. That works. Now I can bring it down here. And into here. Let's see, and then it's going to need the spherical warp. Warp it. Oh. I almost always forget to turn these reflections off. They look so weird if you don't take care of it. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Alright, I like that. Move it down below these other layers there. Getting a little bit more like Cybertron here, a little bit more. Okay, let me rotate it back. Like that. It's just slightly off, it's bugging me. Slightly off. I have to get it just right. There. I like that. That's fine. That's fine right where it is. Okay. I just need to cover up this area here, and this one here, and then I can start doing kind of minor touch-ups and, like I said, blending all the layers together, and then it's really going to start to look like Cybertron. These circular shapes definitely help. At first, when I started out using all like the square stuff, I was like, it just does, something didn't seem right. It looked like Cyborg Frieza, you know, when Frieza came back and he's just like hodgepodge together with robot parts. That's what the moon looked like Cyborg Frieza, but now it's starting to look like Cybertron. I'm really digging it.
Yes, Chaonis, once again, the bacon is cooked. Well done.
Battleframe says Pepsi Prime is his new favorite Transformer. I just love that they modified his trailer to be able to hold a one of those little, I think it's a 1 liter or 1 point whatever. Yeah, it's the 1 liter bottle, 20 ounce whatever bottle of
Pepsi.
Yeah, Bucky, I don't know about the recent Transformers comics. Like, I stopped reading the ones I was talking about that Swagwave and I will be basing the upcoming series on. Is, I don't know. It's like that's where I stopped reading. It was good around there, and then it's like they ran out of ideas, so they started getting crazy.
Okay. You know, I think this thing that's just sitting up here randomly would look better down here. Oh, I feel like I'm playing with like Legos or something. I'm just building. Look, that looks so much better. Ah, I'm just like building with Legos. Oh my goodness, this is fun. There we go. That looks good right there, right there. Okay, so that means I need more like city junk and stuff up here. Junk and stuff. Let's see. There was some, yeah, this. I wanted to try out one of these landscapes, or well, it's like a cityscape, but I wanted to see how it looked. A lot of this is just kind of experimenting, you know, see how things look. Using techniques like normally I would use the chroma key for green screen or blue screen, but I'm using it for for the dark colors, for like blacks and grays. The shadows. There we go. Well, that's cool. So if I leave that on there, it'll actually give it a little bit of shadow, a little bit of depth. So that's nice. So let's continue to shrink this down. I don't know why I'm like so zoomed out of Cybertron. I should zoom into Cybertron. Alright, here we go. What was I doing? That's right. I'm building a town. A Cybertron town. I don't even know if that needs a spherical war. I'll put one on there just to see what it looks like, but it may not even. Whoa! Yeah, see, it kind of warps it a little too much. Much too much. I don't know that it needs it. Okay. Alright, and then let's see, it's obviously it's way too bright sticking out, so I'll use hue shift, or I guess I'll just use regular old brightness and contrast.
It's like the good old days.
just don't want that. It's the shadow too much. Hey, that's too much. There we go. Alright, that blends it in better. Let's see how that's looking. Okay, not bad. I'll have to blend it in a little bit, but it's looking alright. It's looking alright. That's where pieces like this thing come in. Where was this? Yeah, there it is. That's where like this stuff comes in. Hide those edges. There we go. In fact, that can go right there. Beautiful. Zoom out a little bit. This is really starting to take shape. This is really starting to look like Cybertron. I'm getting really happy with this. You know, it's always rough at first, and it's like, what is that? How does that look like anything? But once you get going, it's like, hey, you know what? This is something.
All hail Pepsi Prime.
Yeah, I used to play. See, I played Smash on, of course, like the original one on the 64, the one on the GameCube, and man, that might be where I stopped. I mean, other than occasionally playing it at like friends' houses and stuff, I didn't own one after GameCube. But I mean, I like the game. It's fun. All right, Kaonis.
Till all are Pepsi.
Hey, Prowl, what's up, man? Yeah, Melee. Alright. There we go. Da-da. Sometimes you gotta kind of cheat and do yourself, but gotta do what you gotta do. So I might have to start duplicating some of these things like this down here. Duplicating that. I still need more circles. That's what I really need to do, because those are going to be under these city things. So I should do a couple more circles before I start adding more of these city things around. That's exactly what I'll do. Whoa! Everything's on top of it. It looks weird. Let me turn some of this stuff off. It's getting too jumbled up on here. Too much. Alright. Turn it back on in a bit. I've made some more panels or circles. Pepsi Prime versus Breakstream. Malik, I hope someone makes a custom Breakstream figure. I mean, I'll get around to it eventually if nobody else does, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Before time began, there was Pepsi.
Alright. Let's see, I want this one to look kind of not too jumbled up and busy, but not too plain either. That's too plain. I'm gonna have to move that. Let's move it around. It's like a spotlight. Let's search for a good area. There we go. That looks pretty cool. I like that. That looks alright. Alright. There we go. Turn those off. Okay, I'll just do a little bit more. Let's see. Whoops, not that way. This way. Like that. There we go. Okay. Slowly but surely. Alright, now I gotta turn all that other stuff back on just so I can see at least the circle parts, so I can see how this all adds up. Do like that. Although, I kind of want it to cover the. There we go. Cover the corner of that other one. That might look better. That might be butter. I don't know. Then again, now that other corner is exposed, this one might need to be a little bit bigger. Looks alright. It even kind of blends in right there. That looks cool. I like that. Okay. Leave that there. Okay. And it's gone. Oh, that looks really cool. I like that a lot.
Okay. Colatron. Pepsi Prime. My money's on Pepsi Prime. I don't think Colatron can handle Pepsi Prime. It's going down. Yeah, Bob, if you're still working on that Breakstream custom, you should do like a time lapse, or yeah, live stream it. There you go.
A star has no roots to hold it. No living, lonely entity.
Sound. Yeah, he looks very sound wavy.
To and fro it
Modified
floats
sound
like
wave.
the
He looks
sky,
cool though.
like a water lily,
Just what I was after.
and fades on the blue flood of day.
So this is where the ripped up part will be.
When day comes, it floats into
And
space,
a couple more
like a
plates to cover
spirit
in this stuff.
amazed in a wider paradise.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Let me see what one of these looks like. I'm just gonna try it out just for fun. Guess it needs to be on top all the way. So there we go. gigantic. But it has some cool textures to it. I really like some of those textures. I'm not even worried about the colors. I can desaturate it. So, I kinda like that. I'm gonna use some of this. Right around in there. Right around. There it is. Saturation down. Now it'll look like everything else. What? Yep, there we go. Okay.
What's up, Tristan?
Shut up, Mom. I'm watching Orbital Bacon.
Huffer? Oh yeah, he's like the worst. Not just Autobot. He's just the worst. Worst ever. Alright, where was the... there it is. Okay. You don't want that erasing too much. There we go. Alright, I need to start filling in the back with like just solid plates, either that or some see-through ones. Let's see. Probably get away with duplicating this and just kind of moving it. Rotating it around. Wrong tab.
Oh, I know there's some, I know what I can do to differentiate these. So I'm like, they're starting to all blend into each other. I'm just gonna have to make them look like that weird, like blue, dark blue, midnight blue. That's exactly what I'll do. Alright. This may not have a reflector. It sure doesn't. I can already make it kind of blue. Alright, that's looking pretty cool. This is for future Swagwave stop motions. Like since we're done with Combiner Wars, like that'll be up this weekend, and then Legacy has only a few episodes left in that, and we'll be getting those out of the way pretty soon. Our next Transformers project is going to be kind of like an expanded universe thing, where we're going to just focus on a bunch of different characters instead of just whatever the toy line has out at the moment, like we did with Combiner Wars. Even though now it's, you know, long done, when we started it was because the toy line was out at the time. But we're not really going to focus on whatever the toy line's doing. We're just going to go kind of like on a expanded universe story, and they're going to be going to other planets and stuff, and the story's going to take place, a lot of it on Cybertron. So this is kind of for future projects, but I'm also just experimenting with stuff, seeing how this works, or not necessarily how it works. I know how it works, but how it looks. Like if it works is a better description.
Yeah, we'll end up needing voice actors when we get closer to, because right now we're not even to the point where we're like writing scripts out or filming it or doing effects or anything like that for it yet. It's still a ways off, but once we get out to that point, we'll start putting out casting calls and auditions and things like that, things of those nature. This one. There we go. Alright, Cybertron is really starting to take shape here. Filling in all the underneath bits. I'm almost covering up too much of the glow. I'm probably going to have to go in and start erasing out parts of the things.
Or actually, I bet you if anything, if I started messing with those chroma keys that I put in there, that would probably, there we go. That gets the desired effect right there. That's what I was after. Perfect. Alright. Man, this is really starting to come together. Okay. Gotta find. That's the one thing I'm really bad at, is I don't ever label my layers when I'm duplicating stuff. It's for anybody that does this, they probably are like, rename those layers, you're gonna get confused, and here I am getting confused. But man, it's starting to really come together, and I'm liking the look of that.
I mean, I don't voice like everybody. In fact, I try to bring in other voice actors, but the reason why we don't do a lot of casting calls or open auditions is because I've been doing voices for years now, so I know enough people to where anytime we need additional voices, I just ask one of my friends or acquaintances, whatever you want to call them, colleagues, I guess would be the term, and they're usually, you know, pretty happy to help out. So but we do want to bring in some new people, just so that me and the other guys that have been helping out aren't always who everyone has to hear, just in case it gets old. So yeah, we will be holding open auditions. I'm liking that a little bit better. That blue was too deep. It wasn't sitting right with me. It wasn't sitting right. I didn't like it. Okay, so now, yeah, I do want to have. I think how to do this, how to cover the rest of the planet. We can do this one again. Here. No, really just need it on the side. I don't want to cover up too much of the globe. Really just need it about like that right there. I'm building Cybertron. Building it up. Alright. I like it. I like it. Dig it. It's coming along, it's coming along. Building Cybertron. Sorry guys, I'm like way behind on the chat.
I get all zoned out building up these metal plates here. Alright. Let's try duplicate this one. Swing that one around 90 degrees. Here. Oops, not 90, 180. I know my math. Offset just a bit, there we go. There we go. No. Alright, almost there, almost there. I think a lot of these little bits that are showing through can be covered with like the little buildings and things like that, and I don't want to cover up too much of the glow anyway because
that defeats the whole purpose. So right now, it still kind of looks like a little bit of a mess, but I'm I'm gonna have to clean it up. But right now, it's starting to at least come together. And yeah, I'm using a spherical warp on all of these to wrap them around the moon guide. But yeah, welcome Hawkeye. What's up, buddy?
alright. So let's see. I had some buildings already set up around here. Let me turn all those back on and see what it looks like. It's not too much of a mess. Oh, see, that already is covering up some of those bits that I was thinking might need another metal plate. That already looks fine there. So, I'm not really... The only thing I'm really seeing at this point is... because I don't want to cover up any more of the glowy parts. I kind of like all the glowy parts. I need something in the middle here. There's like something missing right here. I just need something there. Otherwise, I need to blend these in and make it look like wreckage. And I need to blur out all the lower blue parts and make those look like they're underneath all the surface areas. But yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there.
We are indeed getting there. So let's see what happens here. Oh, what happened to the chat? I lost the chat. There it is. There it is. Yeah, those are Cybertron valleys. Exactly. I'm not putting anything there. And in fact, one of the things I'm going to do once this is all done is create some volumetric lighting, so there's actually some pillars of light or columns of light that are popping up out of these glowy parts. So I'm not going to cover those up at all. But right now, what I'm trying to decide, because these the parts that are blue, and I really do need to start renaming. I've gotten to the point now, there's so many layers, I need to rename them. This will be blue 1. Blue plate 1. Alright. So yeah, like this one for instance, because it's meant to be a lower depth, I'm thinking about either reducing the, well, I might reduce the opacity a little bit anyway, but I'm thinking about adding a blur to it, just a slight blur, in hopes that that'll give it some depth. Yeah, see, that's starting to look better already. I might turn that up just a bit.
Okay. Alright. I'm fine with that. Let me find the next blue plate. Blue plate special. Alright. Yeah, and you guys will hopefully be able to tell a big difference once this blur is applied to these, that you'll be able to kind of see more of a depth to the planet, and it won't look so jumbled up and messy, because right now it's kind of hard to differentiate everything. Yep, that's a blue one. That one is not blue. That one is blue now. There we go. Yeah, see, that's starting to look better already. The planet has more depth and everything. There's still a few minor adjustments that can be made, but it is definitely starting to come together. Let's see. No, that doesn't have enough of an effect. I want like a slight glow to the blue, since it's closer down to the energon core. I'm tempted to maybe just try giving it a glow, just a straight up glow effect, but turn it down, like have it be real subtle. Yeah, because it's gonna look like messed up anyway, I think. I don't think it's gonna give me the desired effect. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Way up. No, see that's too much. I just want like a subtle. I guess that works. That pretty much works. So let's see. You know what? I'm gonna give it extra glow. Extra glow power. There, that's what I was after, right there. Yeah. Okay. Now I can turn the intensity back down. I was wondering why. I was like, man, why am I not seeing it? That's what I was after. Okay. So let's copy that to the other blue plates. I am so glad I named them. This is really going to start to make Cybertron look alive.
Breathing life back into our home world.
Alright, it looks like there are a couple of plates that I have not named yet. I have not yet discovered. This one right here, I believe, is one of them. It is blue plate 4. Just put the glow on that. Alright. Alright, let's see how that's starting to look. I like it. I like it. Cybertron looks alive right now. Like it looked like a dead planet at first. Now it's starting to look alive, so I like this.
Alright, let me catch up with the chat real quick. Alright, Tristan, probably already gone for dinner, but thank you for stopping by the stream. Alright. Okay, didn't miss too much here.
Alright. Let's see what other 3D model things I have that I can plop down. This one's called Halo style. I don't know if I want to use it. This one looks interesting. I don't know if I'll be able to, whoops, wrong. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to key that one out, that weird gradient. That's no good. Let's find something else. So I want to put something right here in this center one. It might need to be like another small ring or something just to connect this. This is too much empty space right here in the middle. Maybe, I don't know. These dark areas actually look pretty cool to connect it. I'll probably put another like little city thing right here. Another one up here on this horizon. One right here. Yeah, it's all looking pretty sweet. And then I can do the volumetric lighting and it'll be almost done. So let's see, what else can I add here? I do like this block thing. What's it called? This. Duplicate that. Spin it around.
Cybertronian currency is Bitcoin.
That's what we use on Cybertron.
Time for some water. Please. Alright. I think my computer froze up a little bit here. Let's see if I can. Oh, no, it's fine. Never mind. I was just sitting here waiting on it. No reason. Move one of these around. Let's see, where's another one of these cities? Here. Alright. Almost done building Cybertron here. He's coming together pretty nicely. I just need something here for this center one, and I think I'll go ahead and get to the, at least go ahead and get to the volumetric lighting. Well, I need to blur everything a little bit so that, or feather it, or whatever you want to call it, so that I can make it look like it's blending a little bit. It looks a little too fake. I don't know what the word is, but it doesn't look right. I'm getting there, I'm getting there. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and add this. Don't you love it when the neighbors have a screaming baby? Good fun. No, you can't always baby stuff up. What? There's the spherical warp. Here we go. I remember this one didn't need much though, because it's already pretty smooth. So let's see how that looks. That looks alright. I need to rotate it a little bit more. That. And then we need to so it blends in. Alright, then I just need to do something about those edges. I want to mask those off. Oh, I know what I can do. I'll put another building in front of it. Let's see if I can use this one. Let's see how this one works. Sorry I haven't been talking to the chat much, guys. I've just been determined to get this done, you know? Determined. Alright, let's see what I can do with this. I have to zoom it in here. Not too much. Turn it horizontal. No, it's gonna have to be.
Hey, Godkey, what's up? Let's see, I gotta catch up with the chat, man. I'm way behind. My goodness. Okay, that looks... boneless pizza. I don't remember that. That looks about where I left off.
Boneless pizza. I think all pizza's boneless. Boneless pizza.
How can we get pizza be boneless? The Solus says that actually looks like Cybertron. Why, thank you. I think it is starting to come together finally. Hey, Godkey, what's up, man? Alright, I am getting through this pretty fast. Okay.
Caught up with the chat. Alright. Alright, alright. So let's see what I'm gonna do now. Because I really want to try to mess with the volumetric lighting here. See how I can achieve that. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a couple of things I need to do. I need to put a new grade on here because I want to give it a diffuse blur that makes the whole thing look like it's out in space. That works. That works. But before I do that, and that actually helps so much. Before I do that though, this one another new grade layer. Right. So I'm gonna play a little trick on the camera and see if I can pull off this volumetric lighting here. We'll see. We shall soon see. Not like that. That works. Yeah. And let's see. Guess I'm just gonna have to move down the old-fashioned way, one by one. Right there, now it should be behind. Well, not behind everything yet. Now it's behind it. Or everything that it needs to be. There we go. Alright, what color? I guess it should be primarily like goldish. I don't really know. Well, I'll be able to mess with it. I don't have to set it right now. Okay, so with that on like that, that all like that, so I'm going to come up here to this grade here. And put the curve effect on.
I'm gonna see if this is like a weird experiment I'm trying. Let's see if this works.
Oh, there's something I forgot to do first. Do this. Saturation. There we go. There, so I just want these light bits showing through like that. There we go. There we go. That looks about right. Okay. Export that frame. This is going to be my volumetric lighting frame. This is going to be really weird, but it'll work. Trust me. It'll work. And I'll call it volumetric 1. Alright, and then I'll have to import that real quick. Should work. All right. There it is. See how that works. Alright, so if we take this one, we add zoom blur to it, turn it all the way up. Yeah, there we go. And I want to duplicate that. That might be too much, but we'll see. We shall see. Set it to screen. Turn that off. Yeah, see, now the light's peering through. Now it is too much. It is definitely turned up too much. But I can adjust that. Not a problem, not a problem. There we go. There we go. See, now you can see the lights kind of peering through all the cracks and stuff here. Man, that looks really cool. Okay, let me turn the diffuse blur back on. There we go. Now it's starting to look like Cybertron. Now we've got Cybertron forming here. I know that was a lot of weird kind of sitting through like, what are you doing? But I really wanted all these individual rays of light peeking through at the exact spots where the light is, especially like right here. You can see a big tower of it. And if I wanted to, I could come in here and use the where it is, color temperature. Here it is. Use this to kind of mess with the color of the light. If I want that to be more of a kind of a gold. Oh, that looks really cool, having the gold light shining out there and through here. That looks awesome. Okay, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it that way. That looks really cool. Okay. So, what do you guys think now that it's nearing completion? It's still not done. There's some little touch-ups I need to go back in, you know, finish up a few little things as far as blending in the gray metallic surfaces. I want to try to feather out the edges, maybe blur them out a little bit, and blend those in. But you should be able to see at this point how it's really taking shape. The light's shining through the energon. It looks alive. There's buildings on the surface. And like I said, there's still some more things. There's probably a few more of these little ring shapes that I've been doing. I did a couple of these circles here, but I realized there's only 2 of these rings, so there could probably stand to be some really thin looking ones, almost like roads, that I could add in a couple places just to break up some of these more open spots. But this was really just so you guys could see. It's like I stated a couple of times towards the beginning of the stream, that I stated a couple times already. that this was just so you could see how you could build your own cosmic landscape if you wanted to, you know, try it out. So, oh wow, you guys say I've outdone myself. It's beautiful. Wow, thanks guys. I really appreciate that. The light effects bring it to life. That's how I feel. I feel like the lighting effects really add that extra touch to make it feel like it's glowing from the inside out. And that's what all that weird stuff I was going through, that's what made it all worth it. And I really appreciate it, guys. It's amazing, Bob says. Phantom asks, how did I make that? Phantom, if you just got here, you'll have to go back and watch. That's what I've spent the whole stream. Bucky says it's shiny. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I need to do. I'm noticing that these gray bits are actually kind of dead looking compared to the rest of it now. So what I'll probably end up going back and doing is adding some light flares kind of peppered throughout these city bits to make it look like the buildings are alive or inhabited. Not that they're alive, but you know, that they're inhabited. And that way it'll give it a little extra sparkle as well. And like I said, I'll go back and add some extra pathways, almost like highways, kind of wrapping around all these bits. But it's really starting to look like Cybertron. And like I said earlier, I'm going to go through and make this kind of look like it's exploding out. Add some of these, where'd they go? Right here, these shrapnel bits kind of floating out in space out here. And then that way, when we use this shot, like for Swagway's upcoming Transformers series after Legacy is wrapped up and Combiner Wars is wrapped up, when we use this shot for establishing shots, I'll be able to, you know, zoom in and the light rays will be moving and the shrapnel bits will be flying off to the side. So it'll look pretty cool when it's all done. Yeah, I used a moon underneath all of that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking it out. I don't know, I'm tempted to go ahead and add, I was going to go ahead and wrap it up, but I'm tempted to go ahead and add a couple more things just to make it look nice. I don't want to cover too much of the light up though, because man, I really enjoy the way the light's coming through there. There may not be much else that needs to be done to it. Yeah. Alright, Tailgate, later, buddy. You know what, guys? I think I'm gonna leave it there, because sometimes if I overthink something or mess with it too much, I'll end up like messing it up. And even though I know that there's still some work to be done, it's good sometimes to kind of like step away, you know, take a breather, and then come back and reevaluate. That way you might see something that you missed before, or you may decide not to mess with something that you would have messed with, and it, you know, might be a good choice in the end. But I am seeing a few things that still need some work. Like I said, it's definitely not done, but I think that this is a good stopping point. I don't want to get too wrapped up in it and end up messing something up. So Bob's like, finish it. Yeah, I don't know, do you guys want to stick it out? If I finish it up, will you guys stick it out? Yeah, everybody's like, oh, it was fun, you know, enjoyed watching it. Phantom. Yeah, because the only, like I said, the last few things are such minor details, but it's going to end up taking a while though, because it's a bunch of little details. that it's probably best saved for either another time or another stream. I mean, maybe even later tonight, because I'm happy with the progress that I made, so I do want to finish it. But I think I will go ahead and everyone says they're good. 3 for the rest of the day. Yeah. Alright, hell. Let's finish it. Let's wrap it up. Alright. I'm gonna do it. Alright then. I'm gonna keep going. Let's do this.
Thumbs up, let's do this.
Had to keep everybody in suspense for a minute. You know how it is. Yeah, the music's ramping up. Can't give up now. Can't stop now. Alright, I gotta turn all the lights on. I gotta turn all the cool looking stuff off for a second so I can edit this smoothly. That. Like that right there. Just needs to be under everything. There we go. That's better. Yeah, Phantom, the cool music started playing. Got me hyped up. You guys were all saying you're sticking around. I definitely can't stop now. Everybody would know.
Well, what can you do?
Alright, I need this thing turned down. Where's the brightness? There it is. There it is. There we go, mix that in. Mix that in with the rest of everything there. Like that, I need something like right here. Probably another group of buildings or something. Really want to offset that group of buildings with this tower thing. It's like bugging me. Fact that that's better. There we go. There. Oh, that's looking much better. Just those few additions. Every like little tiny addition. Let me turn the lights back on. Just so I can see how cool it looks. Yeah, see that looks so much better. Just those few little additions really helped.
Let's do this. There is no escape. In space, no one can hear you fap.
Veritas says this is really cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream.
I'm just painting a happy little Cybertron. Happy little tree here on Cybertron.
All right, Phantom. Thanks, buddy.
All right. So now let me add a few little lights and stuff. Turn all the cool looking stuff off again. And there's a few of these that need to be sort of blurred out a bit. They're just too sharp compared to some of the other stuff that's around them, and so it's sort of offsetting the blending of it. I definitely want to blur these because these are going to end up getting kind of like messed up looking anyway. Definitely want to blur that one. That one's fine. The cities are all fine for the most part. I don't really need to mess with those. Let's see, I'm gonna rename this stuff though. Circle 1. Circle 1 definitely gets supported. Only a little bit. Only a bit. Actually, I don't know. 'Cause now it does make the building and stuff stand out. Oh man. Just more work. It's okay. That's a little thing. That works. That's better. Alright, I think, yeah, that definitely needs a blur.
Circle number 2. Coming right up. Whoa, too much. Just needs a bit.
Here is circle 3. Circle number 3. Works. Save it up here. Every so often. This one just a touch. Go. I'm gonna look at everything again. Alright, that's looking better. Few last little things to touch up. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it done.
Thanks, Battleframe. Yeah, Veritas. Hit film is like, to to put it bluntly, it's like the poor man's AE or After Effects, Adobe, whatever you want to call it, because the Express version, which is what I'm using, is free, and they have paid add-ons, but the base version is free. And then there's a Pro version, which it does cost a good bit. It's like a few $100s, but that's a lot closer to Adobe. That's a lot closer. It's not necessarily a poor man's version at that point. It's more of just kind of a knockoff or an alternate version. But yeah, being able to do this much with with free software, definitely a plus. It's a nice perk. Bob says it's the best quote. Solus says it feels like you're looking at the real Cybertron. Thanks, man. That's what I'm trying to go for. Kind of a more 3D look to what the art. I mean, the art looks awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like people's art of Cybertron or things that were taken from like the cartoon or the video games looks amazing. But I just wanted to try to make my own and see how it would look. So far, it's coming along pretty nicely. There's a few other little things I want to add in here just to add some depth.
Yeah, here we go. Looks like I think there was one other tower thing I haven't used yet. I want to use all the stuff I got. Gotta use it all. Go. Fine with that. Alright, that works. Scale it down. Scale it way down. Way down. Whoops. Totally messed that one up. Didn't mean to grab the spherical warp thing. I wanted to actually move this, and that's still way too gigantic. It's like a freaking giant space dick. There, now it looks more like a town. Actually, no, that's terrible, because now these are its two balls. Oh, I can't unsee it. I'm gonna have to get rid of it. Can't unsee. Let's see, which one is which? Just make one disappear. There we go. There, that's all better now. It's all better. Alright, let's see how that turned out. Pretty good. This one right here. No, I don't like the way it looks. Something's off. Something's off. Alright, what else? What else is around here? Future cities. Future cities. Mass time. Alright. this weird. Probably have to like zoom in a bit. I don't really know what shape this needs to be. There we go. And there's the other one. There's the other one. That's not right. There, that's more like what it needs to be. Alright, where's the other one of these buildings? Oh, I can't find anything. There it is. Alright. Sort of, kind of. Not quite the effect I was going for.
Bob asked if I'm familiar with Blendo. Blendo. I'm reading other things here. With Blender, Shadow Elite uses it. Yeah, I believe that is what he uses. I'm pretty sure that's also what the guys on Galvatron's Revenge, the animators who are working on that, I think they're also using Blender. But I'm not familiar with it myself, simply because I don't do any like 3D animating. I don't know how to use it at all. Like I'm still learning how to use this, how to use HitFilm, you know. Well, you know what? I almost wonder. I wonder. What happened if that wasn't around it? Yeah, we have the piece on the other side. That's what I want. There we go. Yeah, I guess I just got the mask backwards or something. I don't know, but easy fix. Easy enough fix.
actually looks like now it's ripped and blown, like blown out. That's what I was going for.
Yeah, Neil Armstrong was the original one in space. Bob, yeah, if you're able to pull something off in Blender and make it Cybertron, let me know, man. That sounds cool. Battle Frame, I would love to get into 2D animation. Open Tunes, it's free. Okay, might have to look into that. Battle Frame. Should do like a stream or something on it. Alright, that's the orange one. Yeah, that's the orange one. Alright, so I need this one. This one. Let's make sure. Okay, good. Add some points in here. That way, have this glow kind of extend out through this hole that I'm creating in the planet. Like the energon is like leaking out into space. There it goes. Oh man, that looks cool. Throw this out just a bit more. That sort of leaking out into space. Let's see how that works. Yeah, there we go. Whoops, wrong one. Whoa! That's crazy. Alright. Maybe not that type of way. Maybe just the other one. There we go. There we go. Alright, Phantom, take it easy, man. Something else kind of covering this up right here. Oh, maybe not. Let me get this scrap metal into space. It's time to launch the scrap metal. Way too big. Way too big.
go.
That's a... Oh, Battle Frame. I was just like, as soon as I read your comment, I scrolled down. And I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking.
We'll build a wall on Cybertron, and the Decepticons will pay for it. Vote for Prime 2020. It is the year 2020. Vote for Prime. We're gonna build a tower, and Megatron's gonna pay for it.
Nah, check it out. We got it right here. Zoom in. There it is.
There it is. Prime Tower. All the Doritos will be lost.
I like how you can actually zoom in on Cybertron here, and there's little buildings and structures and things that I've peppered all over the planet. Like I said, it may not be as cool as some of the art and screenshots and stuff that are out there, but it's fun doing this kind of stuff.
Bumblebee for president. He'll ruin everything. There it is. There's the tower.
Alright, back to these metal shards here that are spilling out from the planet. Alright, these things, I think that's what's bugging me, is that these are such a darker color. Like, the darker side is over here, everything else over here is lighter, like up here, except for this. That's what's bugging me. Gotta fix that real quick. That's what it was. That's better. That's so much better. Just like simple little things like that. Alright. Boom. There we go. Okay. Now, back to the metal shards. Scrap metal, scrap metal.
Vote for me. I can guarantee pizza rolls for everyone. Maybe. I don't know. Can we do that?
I need some smaller parts like these. Smaller pieces. Battleframe says, "Why are you keyframing debris? Are there explosions? Will it explode?" Yeah, that's what I was saying towards the beginning of the stream. I was like, I'm going to build Cybertron. Cybertron, our home, will be alive again. Until I blow it up at the end. If you guys have seen the Thanos stop motion that Swagwave did, it was on a day he did kind of like a double upload where it was the Guardians of the Galaxy, tongue twister, Guardians of the Galaxy and Thanos. It was like Thanos' origin story, and he blows up a planet or half a planet in that one. It's kind of similar. Kind of similar to this. Oh man, that is looking so cool. You got the debris floating out from this explosion, the lights glowing out of it. We got all the lights glowing out here. I added some extra buildings around. The surface looks nice and populated. Now I just need a few little lights. A few little lights here and there. And we'll be done. Let's go ahead and do that. No wonder the Autobots went to Earth. B was elected president. That's right, Bucky.
Somehow B won the election, and I wasn't having that. So I said, Autobots, we must go to Earth. We can't stay here.
Yeah, all hell breaks loose in the chat and on Cybertron.
It's madness everywhere.
Alright, so let me add some lights around here and get this thing done. I really appreciate you guys sticking it out till the very end, till the bitter end. Alright, let's add some light flares. Let's see what happens if I add auto light flares. It'll probably just go nuts. Maybe not. Yeah, it didn't do anything. Oh, that's because I would have to. Oh, that's why. Whoops-a-daisy. Alright, let's do one at a time. Ooh, although, you know, it would be cool to have, like, the sun coming up behind Cybertron. You know how awesome that would be? You know I'm gonna have to do it now. Oh, where did it go? Where did it go? There's so many layers. This is crazy. Alright. There we go. Now I can move it around. It'll be behind Cybertron. Let's see. There should be like a sun spike or sun glare or some sort of sunlight thing. Let's see.
sun is shining bright off in the distance. Oh, it's alright. Could be worse. Yeah, yellow. It's almost better suited for it being like over here where the explosion is happening. So you can see the debris and stuff. Yeah, I might just do like that. Just have it add on to the explosion. We don't need all that. Alright, let me go back. I keep getting distracted on things I was supposed to be doing. Unbelievable. Can't believe it. These are the small lights. Tiny lights. Alright, so these
says stop destroying Cybertron. Wait, hold on. I'm missing some stuff. Bacon for president. Oh boy.
I don't know if I could handle that. It would take a whole lot of pizza rolls.
Yeah, Breakstream is my vice president. There you go. Yeah, it needs some anamorphic lens flare, doesn't it, Battleframe? Play Smash Mouth in the background. Bob says we don't pull swag waves here. That's right. We use royalty free music. you see it's close to where the eruption is happening, Battleframe. The tower is over, it's over there near. Oh, you know what? It is about time for water break.
hold on, let me set this first. Let me set this to anamorphic. Which anamorphic one do I want to use? That one's pretty cool. That one's pretty freaking sweet. Put it all over somewhere. One of these stars can just be super bright for no reason.
But it is time for water. Water. Hold on, I gotta get the wizard driver and summon the water properly, otherwise I can't actually drink it. Delicious. Oh, that's good. All right, a soulless man. Thanks for hanging out. I'm glad you had fun. I appreciate you watching.
Alright, I'm going to stick that up in the corner there, just because it does look cool. Turn down the intensity just a bit. And then, keep forgetting what I was supposed to be doing. Supposed to be adding tiny little lights to the surface of Cybertron so that the buildings look like they're being lived in. But not these anamorphic ones, these are all over the place. I need like little like LED, no, those are too bright too. I just need like little dots, little tiny laser dot maybe? I don't want all the extra stuff, all these other elements. Turn that off. Turn the rays off. Yeah, I just want tiny there we go. Of course I'll have to change the color of it. If I can.
Why no talk? Wait, what? Welcome back, Godkey.
Alright. Might be zoom in a little bit here to see what I'm doing. Oh. Well, that was silly of me. Oh well. Whatever. Whatever. Alright, so let's see. It looks like these are gonna have a red hue regardless of what I do. Oh, no wait, there's another option. That might work. But still, looks like it's gonna be red no matter what. But I can try to inject some blue. Well, that looks cool. Go back to the other one. Oh, now it's like green. Okay, so maybe the other, maybe this does have an effect on it. It does! Okay, I figured it out. Alright, so now I can actually turn that up a bit. And they don't have to be whatever color. Okay. Not 100. There. Go back up to this one. This one. Yeah, there we go. It's like some lights are on in the city and stuff. It's really all I need.
What? I look away for 2 seconds.
What does this chat become? Alright. It's almost too colorful. Alright. And alright, that works even Right. Okay. Alright, that's looking good. There's so many of these things. Alright, what else? What else could work as a light here? See, I don't want all this extra glow coming off of it. It's too much. Just trying different things. Looks like the laser one's the best as far as not having a... Yeah, that one kind of works. But yeah, just as far as not having like a huge radius, that laser dot looks to be the best one. Unfortunately, I wanted a little more variety. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Okay. Let's see, where else can I put these things to make the landscape look interesting? And not only that, they don't all need to be green either. Let's see what happens if I use this color. Whoa, that became like super bright. That's not gonna work. Yeah, try that and try that. Sort of works. It sort of kind of works. Sort of, kind of, sort of. Some blue, see if that'll work. A lot of these colors don't seem to be changing it too much of an orange or red. Yeah. Not really. Not a whole lot. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so with that, now, that was kind of everything as far as the extras that I was going for. Okay, so added the extra stuff I was talking about earlier, a few extra details, some buildings, some small lights to make it look like, you know, there was some activity going on the surface, the explosion with the debris, and thanks to Battleframe's suggestion, a little anamorphic light flare like there's a sun off in the distance. Probably, you know, like the star that they orbit around. But what do you guys think of Cybertron there? Did I build a good Cybertron? Does it look like if Transformers lived there and think it was beautiful?
Omotion Media asks, do you guys like hit film over Premiere Pro? That's a really good question. Unfortunately, I don't have any experience with Premiere Pro. I have not used it myself. The only other video editors I've used are, I mean, of course, Windows Movie Maker, but then Corel Video Pro and Vegas, Sony Vegas. Both of those are fine. I mean, Corel and Vegas, I think, are kind of comparable to each other, whereas HitFilm feels more like Premiere as far as what people have described it to me as and what I've seen videos, like tutorial videos and stuff on it. HitFilm feels closer to that. You know, it's like a poor man's version of that since it's free. But that's a good question, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna blow it up. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm glad you guys like it though. I'm digging it. I'm pretty happy with it. Like that's definitely, you know, there's, like I said, there's always a few little touch-ups that might be able to be added, but that's everything I was actually planning to do. There's nothing more I could actually do right now that I haven't, you know, premeditated thought like, okay, this is what I want to add to the landscape. So it's looking pretty good for what I was after. Quite happy with it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out during the chat. Let's see, I just wanted to make sure. Omotion asked, what program did I model the planet in? I've actually done this whole thing I've been doing here tonight, and you can kind of see as I zoom in, there's actually little buildings and stuff. It's not like that complex. It's not like you know, if you went into some other program like Blender or even Source Filmmaker probably could give you a better like 3D rendering. This was just something I wanted to do for fun in HitFilm, just to see if I could kind of build a planet from scratch using layers. So all this is just a huge list of layers. You can see here, let me see how much total. 45 layers in total. Some of them are blanked out, you know, because they were duplicate layers used to get some of these other effects. But it's a little over 40 layers with spherical warps, you know, to make it look, you know, like it's wrapped around a planet. I used a picture of the moon just as like a base, and it's just 40 something layers of textures, pre-rendered buildings. I did use some pre-rendered 3D models of buildings, dropped them all in, used spherical warp to make them look like they were on the surface. There's some volumetric lighting. I used a trick there to achieve some volumetric lighting effects that you can see these columns of light, rays or columns, whatever you want to call it, of light that are peering through the surface, especially right here where there's kind of like an opening is peering out, and then right here the explosion with the shrapnel. So yeah, it's just lighting effects, layers, warps, just a bunch of different effects. Yeah, so it was just kind of a fun experiment. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out, watching the full thing, giving me feedback and stuff like that. Battleframe says he wants to live there. That's awesome. Yeah, it looks like a cool like sci-fi world. You know, that's what I was going for. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. And Emotion says all in hit film looks good, very pro. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. A lot of it was just experimenting. I didn't really know if I'd be able to, pull it off that well, how it would come out. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream here, and be on the lookout on Swagway's channel. Combiner Wars will be up this weekend. I'll have another live stream probably tomorrow. Let's see, tomorrow's Friday, so either tomorrow or Saturday I'll do another live stream, and then Sunday there's a new episode of Kamen Rider Build, so I will be recapping that for sure. So there'll be at least another live stream and then a Kamen Rider recap video on the way over the weekend. Thanks you guys for hanging out.
Till next time, this is Orbital Bacon, signing off.